Hello, I'm Oscar from Off to Work. Today we have a video going through martinis, a sophisticated drink. There are many different ways to make it. It can be often one that gets you a bit hot under the collar if you don't know the difference between your dry and your filthy and all the different ones in between. So we're going to be making 5 on a bit of a spectrum, using a few different gins and seeing what we can pair with them to make a beautiful martini each and every time. And by the end of this, you should be a martini expert. So we'll get started. Our first drink is a bone dry martini. I've taken my glass out the freezer. You always want to keep it nice as cold as possible. You'll see it slowly defrosting. I don't have a freezer here, unfortunately. Bone dry means there is no dry vermouth. It will start to make a little bit more sense as we go through the spectrum. That means it is quite literally going to be gin only. So we're going to have a double shot of our gin. For this one, I've used a really complex gin, pink pepper, loads of peppercorns, heavy on juniper, amazing vanilla, tonka bean flavors. As it is only the gin, we need something complex that's going to carry forward and it's going to be lovely. We're going to add ice. We want to stir for about 30 to 40 seconds. I'm keeping my spoon on the outside of the glass so I'm not chipping the ice, just rotating it. Taste test. Tastes good, it's well-rounded, the booziness doesn't pop out at me. I'm going to use a julep strainer as I pour my drink in, express some lemon oils, and then I'm going to make a nice, pretty twist. And there we have it, a bone dry martini. Next we have a dry martini. Whereas our bone dry had no vermouth. Also worth to add, that is probably the most modern way to make a martini. So way back when gin was a little bit more rough around the edges, it was quite common to add quite a bit of vermouth. Pour just a touch over our chopping board, no, in the glass, ideally. Going to create a little rinse, coat the glass, which we'll then discard. I'm going to keep this in here for the moment while I make my drink. I'm going to use number 3 gin. It's made by Berry Brothers and Rudd. Heavy on grapefruit, citrus peel, lovely gin. Using a double shot to add our ice. So our drink is ready in there. Just coat the glass here and then go throw it out. We go to the world famous Duke's Bar. They've been open 100 years making martinis and they fling it on the carpet floor. Gonna pour that in. Once again, I'm going to garnish this with citrus just to match the botanicals in the really bright gin that we have. There we have it, a dry martini with number 3 gin. So next drink is going to be a wet martini. People don't really order these, but this is the original martini. And you never know, you might have someone come and order one, and at least you know what it means. Like I said, when gin was pretty rough, most spirits are pretty rough. Bartenders, the originals, would add 1 part dry vermouth, and then we're going to add 2 parts gin. We're going to use Martin Miller's Icelandic gin. Don't need to do the rinse for this one because the vermouth is inside there. Add our ice, stir. You know what? Not bad. Doesn't feel as strong. It is, still has 2 shots of gin in it, but because you have that vermouth there, it rounds everything off with the small amount of added sugar. Don't want to get my oils all over that drink. Slight difference in color as well. So there we have a wet martini. Now things are about to get dirty. This is how you make a dirty martini. All of these can be made with either gin or vodka. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Personally, I prefer a dirty vodka martini. So essentially, we're going to use 2 shots of gin or vodka. No vermouth. We're going to add about half a shot of our olive brine. The customer says, more, give them some more. So we're going to add our ice. Same steps as before. Give it a good old stir down. Smells great already. Beautiful. And we are going to garnish with an olive. You can choose to sit it over the top. I prefer just to plunk it down in the drink like that. And there we have it, a dirty gin martini. The final boss of martinis. When dirty isn't enough, what's the next step? Filthy. First step, I personally love these. We're gonna muddle a couple of olives. So it's not just the clear brine, we're gonna get that lovely juice. And I'm gonna add also about half a shot of juice in there too. And I'm gonna muddle my olives to get that salty, cloudy goodness out of them. Then add my double shot of gin as usual. I'm going to give that a stir over ice. Stir it down as usual. Oh, delicious. Now we're going to double strain this so we can get rid of all of those chunky bits of olives. We're going to garnish. And we know we have an olive fan, so we're going to add an extra couple of olives in here for good measure. And there we have our filthy martini. So there we have it, our martini 5 different ways, from bone dry, no vermouth, dry, rinse, wet, add it in the drink 2 to 1, and then we have a dirty and a filthy. Look, I'm definitely drinking that after work hours. Let us know in the comments, what is your favorite martini? Is it a Vespa, which we haven't covered? The mysterious Vespa, shaken not stirred. Check out our other videos. We've got lots more if you're into cocktails. We have just filmed one about fat washing, which I'm really excited to put out there. And until the next time, see you soon.